Good morning, students. This is our 21st lecture on engineering thermodynamics. If you recall, in the last class we discussed about a particular theorem and established the cyclic integral of a term dq by t to be equal to 0 for a reversible cycle. So we took a reversible cycle. I am telling this just for helping you to recall the things that we discussed in the last class. We took a reversible cycle, and the reversible cycle was cut into a large number of pieces, and we saw that every piece can be viewed as a Carnot cycle consisting of two reversible isotherms and two reversible adiabatics, and we did a thermodynamic analysis of every cycle and took the summation of all the resulting equations, and we found that for a reversible cycle, cyclic integral of dq by t is equal to 0. So we discussed earlier, we have learned earlier that if the cyclic integral of any differential term happens to be 0 over a cycle, then that differential term may be the differential expression of a property. It is possibly a property. So we thought, or people thought, that dq by t may be such a term which is the differential expression of a thermodynamic property, and they thought maybe it is the thermodynamic property of entropy whose cyclic integral anyway has to be 0 because this is a point function. But this statement can be made, or dq by t can be replaced by ds. ds is change in entropy, only when this statement is true for both reversible and irreversible cycles. But so far we have discussed only for reversible cycle. Let us see what is happening to this dq by t term when we are talking of a irreversible activity. Now for that we will take another theorem or another analysis where we will take one reversible engine. This is a reversible engine working between temperature T1 and T2, source and sink. This is drawing dq1 amount of heat and rejecting dq2 amount of heat to the sink, and it does WR amount of work. R stands for reversible work. Alright. Now this is the source and this is the sink. Parallelly we take another engine working between the same source and same sink, source and sink at same temperature T1 and T2 respectively, drawing dq1 amount of heat from the source and doing Wi amount of work and throwing how much. So WR and Wi, two engines are working between same source and same sink. Then which of them, one is reversible, one is irreversible, which of them will be producing more work, the reversible one or the irreversible one? If you go to the Carnot theorem, which says that among all the engines working between same temperature limit, only the Carnot engine is important, or the reversible engine is most efficient. Then going by that theorem, what you can conclude? You can conclude that WR is higher than Wi. If WR is higher than Wi, then dq2 here is obviously lower than dq2 here, dq2 dash here. So dq2 dash is greater than dq2. That means in a real engine, this is a reversible engine, this is an irreversible engine. In an irreversible engine or real engine, more amount of heat is lost to the sink, so less amount of work is developed. Here, comparatively less amount of heat is rejected to the sink, so higher amount of work is developed. Clear? Now, this is an engine working on the basis of a reversible cycle. This is an engine which is working on the basis of an irreversible cycle. Now there are two heat terms here. There are two heat terms here. So there will be two dq by t terms here. There will be two dq by t terms here also. Now we will list out the dq by t terms for the reversible cycle. We will list out the dq by t terms for the irreversible cycle, add them and see whether they are equal to 0 or not. So first the reversible cycle. For the reversible cycle, dq1 by t1 plus dq2 by t2. What is this? This is your cyclic integral of dq by t for a reversible cycle is equal to 0. What is cyclic integral of dq by t? The dq by all the summation of all the dq by t terms involved in that particular cycle. So dq1 is the amount of heat transfer taking place at temperature T1. dq2 is the amount of heat transfer taking place at temperature T2. Similarly here dq1 is the heat transfer taking place at temperature T1 and dq2 dash is the heat transfer that is taking place at temperature T2. The only difference is dq2 and dq2 dash and dq2 dash is higher than dq2. Okay. Now cyclic integral of dq by t term for this cycle will be summation of all dq by t terms. So dq1 by t1 plus dq2 by t2 is equal to 0. I can write this equal to 0 because I know this is a reversible cycle, and for a reversible cycle in the last class we already developed the equation that cyclic integral is of dq by t is equal to 0. So it is equal to 0. But question now is that can I write the same thing for an irreversible cycle represented by this diagram? Let us see. So for irreversible cycle, depicted here, the cyclic integral of dq by t is equal to dq1 by t1 plus dq2 dash by t2. Now question is, this is equal to 0 or greater than 0 or less than 0. How to decide? We will decide it from by making a comparison with this one. See, the first term dq1 by t1 plus dq2 by t2 is equal to 0. There is a plus sign here, but two positive things cannot bring 0 as a resultant. So one of them is negative, and you know which one is negative. This one is negative because it is the heat rejected to the sink. So dq1 by t1 plus a negative term dq2 by t2 is equal to 0. Now here the same dq1 by t1 is there and another dq2 dash plus t2 is there, and this is a higher term. dq2 dash is higher than dq2 and this is negative. So you are adding suppose this is plus 5, then you are adding minus 5 here and it is giving 0. But here what you are doing, you are taking plus 5 and here it is minus 6 because this is more than that. So it will be less than 0. Okay. So in the reversible cycle, so that means just make a comparison and logically think that you are adding the same thing equal and opposite and it is giving you 0. Here you are adding the same thing higher and opposite and that is negative, so it will be negative. So cyclic integral of dq by t for an irreversible cycle will be less than 0. Cyclic integral of dq by t is less than 0. So let me summarize that for a reversible cycle, cyclic integral of dq by t is 0, already established in the last class. For a irreversible cycle, cyclic integral of dq by t is less than 0. So combining these two together, we can make a general statement. So the general statement will be like this. The general statement will be like this. The general statement will be for a general cycle, whether it is reversible or irreversible, and this statement can be written as dq by t cyclic integral dq by t cyclic integral is either less than, because it is less than 0 for irreversible cycle and is equal to 0 for reversible cycle. So the general statement is dq by t is less than equal to 0. And this statement or this inequation, there is an inequation because there is a less than sign. This is not an equation. This inequation is called Clausius inequality. This is called Clausius inequality. And Clausius inequality says dq by t cyclic integral is less than 0. The possibilities are dq by t cyclic integral is equal to 0, then the cycle is reversible. Another possibility is that cyclic integral of dq by t is less than 0, then the cycle is irreversible. Third possibility is that the cyclic integral of dq by t is greater than 0, then the cycle is impossible. Cycle is impossible. So a cycle can either be reversible or be irreversible. So cyclic integral of the term dq by t can either be equal to 0 or can be less than 0. Okay, and this statement, mathematical statement, is called Clausius inequality. So if you are asked to establish or prove Clausius inequality in the examination, then it has two parts. First, you have to draw the reversible cycle, cut it into pieces and prove that for a reversible cycle dq by t integration over the cycle is equal to 0. Then you have to take, this is the first part. For the second part, you have to take the reversible cycle and irreversible cycle working between same source and sink and make a comparison and establish that for a irreversible cycle, the cyclic integral of dq by t happens to be less than 0. And you can make the common statement, general statement as the cyclic integral of dq by t is either less than or equal to 0. That will make the Clausius inequality complete. Okay. So what we can discuss from this is that one thing is becoming clearer now, that this dq by t is not entropy. Why? Because अगर एंट्रोपी होता तो एंट्रोपी एक प्रॉपर्टी है. एंट्रोपी इज a thermodynamic property, very much within the list of those 8 properties. So, and you know that d of any property, ds, dp, db, dt over a cycle is always 0 irrespective of whether the cycle is reversible or irreversible. अगर एंट्रोपी एक प्रॉपर्टी है तो ds cyclic integral will always be 0 no matter the cycle is reversible or irreversible, because in both the irreversible and irreversible cycle the initial state point is same as the final state point. So the entropy change has to be 0 over a cycle. But here we saw that okay, entropy change over the cycle may be 0, but dq by t change over the cycle is not always 0. For reversible cycle it is 0, for irreversible cycle it is less than 0. So one thing has become very clear here, that dq by t is not ds. So only it appears in the reversible cycle analysis, it appears that dq by t can be replaced by ds, but that is not true in case of irreversible cycle. So for anything that is happening reversibly, dq by t can be viewed as ds, otherwise not. Now we will see what is the relationship between this ds and dq by t, and why this ds is why the scientific community is trying to establish a relationship between change in entropy and this term dq by t. Okay, that is because it was found that एंट्रोपी इज ए प्रॉपर्टी, और ये जो प्रॉपर्टी का जो फीचर्स है, दोज फीचर्स आर improving when heat transfer is taking place into the system. When heat transfer is taking place from the system, then these entropy values are coming down. So there must be some relationship between the heat transfer dq and this entropy ds. So they tried to establish a relationship between these two, and let us see what exactly is the relationship as far as the quantification is concerned between ds, where ds is literally the change in entropy and entropy is a Fund function, and dq by t literally is a path function and q is heat transfer. Okay, so let us try with the help of our common sense and logic, let us try to establish what is the relationship between ds and dq by t. Okay, now see, take a process 1 to 2. This is what kind of process it is? Because it is drawn with a solid line, this is clearly a reversible process. Now in this process, so ds 1 to 2, this is a reversible process, so I am writing r here. Each or plus ds 2 to 1 r. That means I complete the cycle by another process which is also a reversible process. This is a reversible process, this is a reversible process. So what these two processes constitute? They constitute a cycle, and that cycle is a reversible cycle. So this is 0 because entropy is a property. Similarly, if I write dq by t, so dq by t 1 to 2 r plus dq by t 2 to 1 r is also equal to 0, because cyclic integral of dq by t is 0 for a reversible cycle. So this is also 0. Now I take another process 1 to 2, same process 1 to 2, same process, but I complete this cycle by a irreversible process 2 to 1, which is irreversible process. Okay, so there is between 1 and 2 there is a reversible cycle 1 r 2 r 1, and there is a irreversible cycle 1 r 2 I 1. Okay, so both are cycles having same initial point 1 and same final point 1. Both are having one reversible process 1 to 2, exactly same. But what is the difference? Difference is that the reverse process 2 to 1 is a reversible process here, and 2 to 1 is an irreversible process here, which makes this second cycle an irreversible cycle. Is that clear? Now let us write the dq by t equation for this. So dq by t, or let us write the ds first. So ds 1 to 2 r plus ds 2 to 1 I will be equal to 0. There is no ambiguity in this, because we are writing as change in entropy. No matter the cycle is reversible or irreversible, the net change is 0. So जितना change हुआ 1 to 2 में, उतना change हुआ 2 to 1 in the opposite sign, and this will be 0. There is no ambiguity as far as the entropy is concerned. But problem lies here. dq by t 1 to 2 plus dq by t 2 to 1, this is r and this is I, will be how much? This is a irreversible cycle, or irreversible cycle का cyclic integral of dq by t is how much? Is less than 0. So this is less than 0. So we already have this knowledge. So this is less than 0. So we have two cycles having 4 processes. ये process बराबर है, same है. Only this process and this process. Now if you compare this process and this process, then you will find that you compare this. See, this is equal to this is equal to this, so this plus this is 0, this plus this is 0, ये हो गया. Now this is equal to this, but what about this one? What about this one? This is a term in which you are adding something and you are getting less than 0. This is a term, equal term, and you are adding something and you are getting equal to 0. So यहाँ तुम इतना ऐड करते हो तो you are getting 0, and यहाँ इतना ऐड करते हो तो you are getting less than 0. So which one is higher? So if you apply your logic, then this one is higher. So ds 2 to 1 irreversible process is greater than dq by t 2 to 1 irreversible process. Yes or no? ds 2 to 1 and dq by t 2 to 1. Alright. Now, still if you have any doubt, I am giving you an example. Suppose for example, this is 5. Then this is minus 5 equal to 0. Now, if this is 5, now how much should it be? This should be minus 6 or minus 7. Then only it will be less than 0. So अभी compare करो. minus 5 and minus 6, क्या कौन सा बड़ा है? This one is bigger, so ds is greater than dq by t. Okay. If you take this as minus 5, this as plus 5, then see minus 5 plus 5 is equal to 0. Now you take minus 5 here. What should be the value of this so that it is less than 0? It should be something like plus 3 or plus 4. Then only it will be less than 0. So plus 4 and plus 5. Again it is smaller. So ds is greater than dq by t. ds is greater than dq by t. Alright. So from this analysis we can conclude that for an irreversible process, ds is greater than dq by t. But for a reversible process, dq by t and ds can be viewed equally. Okay, as equal terms. I am making a summary. So what we are discussing here is how to establish a quantitative relationship between these two terms. One is ds and one is dq by t. One is ds and one is dq by t. So when the activity is reversible, so what we can conclude or infer from this relationship or this analysis is that when the thermodynamic activity is taking place reversibly, then ds, which literally means the change in entropy, means the final entropy in a process and the initial entropy in a process, the difference of these two, is equal to dq by t. dq by t is what? It is the amount of heat transfer taking place at temperature T, dq by t. So dq by t is a path function, ds is a point function, but quantitatively these two are same as far as the thermodynamic activity is taking place reversibly. When the process is an irreversible process, we just saw that change in entropy ds is greater than change the term dq by t. So sometimes it is equal to dq by t quantitatively only, not in terms of its nature. Okay, in terms of its nature they are totally different. Heat is a path function whereas entropy is a property. Alright, entropy is something which doesn't cross boundary, it only increases or decreases, but dq is a quantity which crosses the boundary of the system, either to the system or from the system. So these two are feature wise, these two are different, but quantitatively we can establish a relationship between these two. So let me summarize. Therefore the general statement is that ds can either be greater than or equal to dq by t for a process. पहले जो हम लोग किए थे cyclic integral of dq by t is less than equal to 0, that was for a cycle. Now we established the ds and the relationship between ds and dq by t for two different type of processes, one a reversible process, one an irreversible process. For a reversible process, ds is equal to dq by t. For an irreversible process, ds is greater than dq by t. So this is the general statement which we need to understand and remember for a process. पहले जो किए थे साइक्लिक इंटीग्रल ऑफ dq by t इज लेस देन इक्वल टू 0, ये था साइकिल के लिए. दिस वाज फॉर थर्मोडायनामिक साइकिल, इरिवर्सिबल साइकिल एंड रिवर्सिबल साइकिल. यहाँ इरिवर्सिबल प्रोसेस और रिवर्सिबल प्रोसेस के लिए. अगेन हियर देयर आर थ्री पॉसिबिलिटीज. वन, ds is greater than dq by t, ds is equal to dq by t, and ds is less than dq by t. ये तीन ही पॉसिबिलिटी हो सकता है. ओके, इफ ds is greater than dq by t, the process is irreversible process. Irreversible process, and irreversible process means it's a real process and this process is possible to occur. Now if it is equal to this, then it is a reversible process. Reversible process means it's an ideal process which can only be thought of with assumptions of no energy loss, no turbulence, no friction, no wear, no noise, etc., etc. All points are equilibrium points, like that. It is theoretically possible and a process can be assumed to be reversible. But when ds is less than equal to dq by t, then this process is not even theoretically possible. So it is an impossible process. This is an impossible process. So there are three possibilities. ds is either greater than dq by t, ds is equal to dq by t, and ds is less than dq by t. Actually this is not a possibility. These two are the possibilities. In one case the process is reversible process, one case the process is irreversible process. And please have a clear sense of distinction between this greater than equal to and this less than equal to. This less than equal to is for cyclic integral of dq by t, and this is for cycles. For reversible cycle equal to, and for irreversible cycle less than. But here things are for a process. Okay, and you understand the difference between a process. This is a process where this is a cycle. Okay, so with this we can move on to the other things of entropy and dq by t, and again try to understand if this change in entropy is greater than dq by t, it is greater by what amount and why that difference is there. Okay, at this point of time I will advise you only to and I am reiterating that have a clear sense of distinction between what ds is and what dq by t is. Like any other property, pressure, volume, temperature, enthalpy, internal energy, entropy is one property, and this entropy from point to point, from state to state, it changes. Okay, it changes. If in a process the entropy change will not take place, then just like when the temperature doesn't change, we call it an isothermal process. Enthalpy doesn't change, we call it isoenthalpic process. Pressure doesn't change, we call it isobaric process. Similarly, if entropy doesn't change, the process will be called an isoentropic process. Otherwise, in all other processes, entropy will change because the state point is changing. But how much will be the entropy change? What exactly is the difference between the final entropy and initial entropy? That term is ds, or integration of ds from 1 to 2, which is S2 minus S1, or S final minus S initial. Alright, and these can be obtained only from the term dq by t if the process is assumed to be reversible. Okay. Interestingly, for entropy, till now, the scientists have not been able to find out the absolute value of entropy. That means you can never get the value of S2 and S1 and take the difference. You can always take the difference between S2 and S1, but what exactly the value of S2 and S1 are not like obtainable from any kind of calculation or formula whatever we have so far. Okay, so we are and we are not interested in the absolute value also. We are interested only in the change in entropy, and that change in entropy can be obtained by integrating ds, and this can be obtained by integrating this dq by t. Just like we were integrating dw by pdv integration, similarly here ds integration can take place only by making it dq by t and further expanding it, depending on whether it is a case of sensible heat or whether it is a case of latent heat and all that. This much for today, and in the next class what we will do, we will try to redraw the Carnot cycle in the light of entropy diagram, in the light of entropy change of the processes, and we will plot that PV diagram of Carnot cycle in a TS diagram. We will translate it from PV plane to TS plane, and we will see how simply the efficiency can now be derived and the analysis can now be done and the areas under the curve can now be interpreted thermodynamically. Okay, this much for today. Thank you.